What's going on, everybody? So today, as you can see, this is not Earl, this is not Sharky, this is Bonnie. Actually, she has a name because for the longest time she would take all of my money. So but today we have an issue with the valve cover leaking. So let me get my light out here so I can show you. So basically it's just been dripping down onto the exhaust, you know, down up in there somewhere. I'm not exactly sure, but I know it's been dripping down there on it, and you could smell it, and you could see there's oil. You know, I was physically watching it drip too at one point, so I know it's dripping. So in order to do this, it's not going to be the easiest of tasks. We're going to go ahead and have to pull a lot of stuff off of this. So I'll show you what I mean. So you're gonna have to remove this here cowl. As you can see, my tabs are broken, but there would be an 8mm bolt here, 8mm bolt here, and then there's two on each one, or one on each side of that, one on each side here, and then this removes just like that. So next thing, this thing right here is your recirculation sensor. So basically you just twist it and remove. Nothing major to it. And then you got these little tabs right here. You just basically just get this thing. There we go. And yeah, then there's a little tab right here. Boom. And then another one on the back side back here. Ugh. Hang on, I gotta use my strong hand. Here we go. Whew. And so there's another one similar. Now, so what we're also gonna have to do is there's gonna be an 8mm bolt here and one on the opposite side over there. And then what you can do is remove this here thing, which normally your gasket there would not come with it, so we'll have to put that back on there. So, you know, but it gives you a good time to get all the Mississippi leaves out from in your car, or the Minnesota leaves, whichever one those are. I'm not really sure anymore. And then, so as you can see up in here, there is a lot to do. So now when you have a OEM one, what you'll notice is you'll have a bolt right there, and then you'll have two right here to remove this here cover. Now in order to get to this one, as you can see it would be right there. So, and we're gonna get that out of the way. We don't need that there. Might go ahead and grab the vacuum and go ahead and just vacuum up all this stuff so we don't want it falling in whenever we pull this valve cover off. But we've got plenty of time before that time comes. So okay, and so there's a few other things, because this one is not OEM. Things like these have been relocated. That used to be over here, because I have the these intake, or these inlets, over on this side instead of having the whole airbox sitting right here. That's another thing that we will not have to be taking off. So hopefully you know how to take it off. But they also say you want to take loose this brace right here. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take this off. We're going to use a flathead screwdriver, and then it is a 14 E14 here, and then I'll have to look and see what the size that one is. And you only really got to take this one side off. We're not looking to take that side off. And then we'll go ahead and you got to remove each one of these here coil packs. So basically it's just like that. You know, it releases the connector as it goes. If you've seen my videos where I've done the coil packs, you know, all that's there. But we'll go ahead and also have to remove 8mm bolt here, 8mm bolt here, there, and let's see. Wow, they don't have the. So normally, because the shop that I had it done, work done, or when this car had work done, they put in different bolts here. So this would have normally been some E bolts, E10s, I do believe. So then there's another one somewhere over here. There's supposed to be another. Yeah, there it is, right there. So those usually are E bolts, so they must have replaced those. But that's okay. So then we'll also disconnect all of this, but we're going to get to that here in just a minute. Loose the 8mm bolts is nothing. When it comes to these injector connectors, as you can see, here is the clip. So you just basically got to gently pry that away and pull up on the connector at the same time. So as you can see, it has that little clip right there. So that's easy to do. Then there is the whole, see, I got this whole thing right here. It runs right here for the, what is this? This is the, I guess, I honestly don't remember. I'm drawing a blank here. So what we're gonna do is, let me get things out of the way first. So it's got 4 clips that hold this thing on. It's got, you know, one right here, one on the opposite side, one right here, and one on the opposite side. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna give it some tension and just sit there and, you know, keep some tension on this while you're trying to take it off, and that way they don't try to reclip on you. And just work your way around until you get it all the way off, and I'll try to set you up so you can see what I'm doing. And then once you have that one right there, then you can come in, hopefully. And then this one clip back in, so you want to come back over here and make sure this one, there we go. And I mean, it's just like that. Comes right off, like I said, it's clip, 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 clip. And then we can move this whole thing, you know, out the way for the most part. It's got another connection over here, I guess. Oh yeah, okay. We'll take loose that too. So it's got one more little piece right there that we want to take loose. And so it's got that same style of clip as the injector, so you just pry this little piece up and then pull out the injector. So we'll get that out of the way. Okay, so we've got all this up and zip tied out of the way, and you know, we had to disconnect the 2 solenoids for the wastegates. Then we've come to the point in which we have to actually disconnect the fuel lines. So in order to do that, we're going to do this very, very slowly. So we're gonna go ahead, just a little loosen right there, nothing major. Now keep in mind that this system is a direct injection, so it's got a lot of pressure on it. So you might want to let it sit for a little bit before you do it. Make sure it's relieved all of its pressure, and then you just slowly start cracking them. I only had a little bit of fuel come out of the first one. So nothing major. And if you happen to have a flare wrench like I have here, it's always a good way of going about when you're messing with fittings you don't want to damage or anything like that, because as you can see, it gets a nice almost full circumference around it. So let's see, like I said, I'm just gonna keep taking these loose. And there we go, we're inside now. So basically all we have to do now is replace the gasket with the new one. Make sure these wires stay out the dang way when we got to put it back on, and make sure all these things stay out the way when we got to put things back on. We don't want none of that catching up inside there, pinching a line, thinking it's got too much boost or anything, or not enough, you know, various issues that could arise by pinching one of these vacuum lines. But everything else, yeah, everything seems nice and tight there, which is good because I didn't want to mess with any of that. So I think all these things are captured, so they shouldn't fall out. Yeah, there we go. I was worried there for a second. So here is so basically it looked like if this was on there, then it was leaking from. So what we're gonna do here is because this thing is brittle as far as the gasket goes, so that's why it was leaking so bad. So we're just gonna pop this girl out of here, and underneath it is the new one. So you can see how brittle this thing is. Whew. This thing has been in here for quite a many miles. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and pull all this off. And 19% battery life. Wow, that's a huge jump. All right, so got this back in. Now you are gonna catch hell putting this back in. Let me just say, I did. So make sure you put the sleeves back into the valve cover before you're putting it on, because if you try to put them on down there and then slide them over, it's just not going to happen. Don't even expect it to. I actually used a little bit of silicone in a couple of those spots to just keep it in place, because Oh, it just kept, every time I would flip it over, it just wanted to fall out. And so, and also make sure you clean the residual oil that's in the passages out, so that the stuff sticks. And shoot, I also took off the little knobby back there that would have held this. It doesn't get used anymore, so I don't care. And so now I just got to tighten it back down. I can put all these stupid bolts back in, and I got to figure out the torque specs, which I will put right now down at the bottom of the screen and also in the description. So but yeah, let's tighten this thing up. Let's get this thing taken care of, because it's starting to get dark, and this GoPro does not like to stay on lately. All right, got everything back in finally. It's, as you can tell, it is dark now. So we are going to check. We're first prime the system, make sure that everything is good and no leaks are coming from any of these fittings here, because these are the ones that matter the most, and these were the only ones that took loose. Let me, while we're here, let me just double check that I tightened this one down. Yep, I did. Okay. Yeah, you just gotta make sure, you know, there's nothing wrong with you missing stuff, just as long as you go back and check it. Yeah, I don't see any oil leaks. Back there where the people died. Those injectors are loud. Yeah. That's good. That's it. That's what I look at. Yeah. There's no leaks dripping down. That's good. Okay. Yeah, we just gotta let it smoke a little bit. Got a little bit of oil burn off because it was dripping hard onto there. So, but yeah, it sounds like she's supposed to. That's good. Michael knocked off my ass right there, but that's okay. That means it is good. So that is how you replace a valve cover gasket on a BMW N35. N54. So yeah. Ooh, I smell that oil. Yeah. But I mean, there was like I said, there was a lot dripping down on there. So I'm gonna let that heat. I'm gonna cut it off now and let that heat just kind of like do some stuff. I might pick up some brake cleaner and go ahead and clean that off. So the main thing is that it works. Now, there's one other thing. Did you know that if you have a BMW like mine and you do not have the comfort access, that you actually have to resolder on the battery? That's crazy. Like, you literally have to desolder it and then solder a new one on. Like, that was ridiculous. And like, you have to like basically break this whole thing apart and then glue it back together. It's like, what the fuck, BMW? Dang. Yeah, my dad keeps getting it. Yeah, I didn't like to stay down. But yeah, I mean, it's a success. No leaks. All dry. Yeah.
Just smokes like hell.
Just for a little bit.
Smokes worse than I do.
But that's gonna do it, guys. Like I said, that's how you do it. So see ya.